Integration of culturally responsive teaching in the classroom, creating and maintaining effective learning environments for students and primary caregivers. I, in my research, looked at the factors of primary caregivers affecting students' development and their academic success. One very large influence of primary caregivers over students' academic success is their involvement. Now, one thing that I feel I can integrate into the classroom to increase parental involvement is to integrate culturally responsive teaching aimed not only at the students but also at the primary caregivers. Now, here I have listed some components of culturally responsive teaching, and I'm just going to go ahead and read through them. 1. Centering and valuing students' cultures and identities. 2. Using rigorous and relevant curriculum and anti-oppressive teaching practices. 3. Building strong, positive relationships between students, families, and school staff. And 4. Supporting students to develop the knowledge, skills, and vision to transform the world towards liberation. Now, some additional components: getting to know students and their families, student strengths, needs, funds of knowledge and interests, culture and cultural values. Design an inclusive curriculum, increase and support rigor, increase relevance. Account for language differences, communicate consistently, high expectations, facilitate student empowerment, address own biases, create a supportive classroom environment, develop authentic, caring relationships, creating a welcoming classroom, continuing self-learning, explore resources to deepen own understanding. Now, here are the benefits to creating a culturally responsive classroom. Provides students with a range of social and cognitive benefits, facilitates brain processing, motivates and engages students, cultivates critical thinking and problem solving, strengthens students' racial and ethnic identities, promotes a sense of safety and belonging, raises expectations for all students, helps students feel valued and empowered, builds cultural competence, builds empathy, highly compatible with universal design for learning, and supports social emotional learning. Now, my thinking behind extending the culturally responsive teaching not only to students but to primary caregivers is that not only will these benefits and components be aimed at students, but they'll also be aimed at the primary caregivers. Now, when we extend these components to their caregivers, they're more likely to want to be involved in their students' academics, especially if you're making them feel valued, their culture and their interests and things like that. And it's really important for students' success for the teacher and the primary caregivers to collaborate. And so that extending the culturally responsive teaching in the classroom to the primary caregivers will help increase that collaboration and that interest of the primary caregivers. Not only that, but I feel that as a teacher, it's vital to not only aim to help educate the students, but to also help give parents and caregivers some vital knowledge that they could use in the future once the child moves on to the next teacher. And so that is my aims for integrating culturally responsive teaching into the classroom.